Hello and welcome. Hopefully we are live and it's all working. How is everyone doing? Hope we're all okay. Cool, looks like we're okay. Looks like we're live. No technical problems today, which is good. So thanks everyone for joining. I'm a few minutes early, but we'll get going at 8 o'clock. And this video I'm going to talk about Prime Day, Amazon to Amazon, all the tips and tricks that I've got around Amazon, and more importantly, Prime Day, which is coming up, and the tricks you can use on that as well. So, hey Berts, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. We'll wait for a few more people to jump in. I know it's like the weather's so nice outside at the moment. I kind of don't want to do these like live streams. I want to be saying I'm not going outside anyway, but I imagine a lot of people are outside enjoying the weather. So sometimes I feel like these live streams might not get as many people, but it doesn't matter anyway. A lot of people watch them afterwards, which is the main thing. So the last stream actually got an insane number of views afterwards. I think we're nearly 400 views, which is really awesome for a live stream actually. And most of those, I think 300 plus, were from, how many did I get? 409 so far. Yeah, most of those were from watching afterwards, which is awesome. Hey Empire, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Hope you guys are going to learn some amazing Amazon to Amazon tips today. So a bit of an Amazon expert, I suppose. I've been doing it a while. So yeah, today there was some absolutely cracking deals on Amazon to Amazon actually. And we'll talk about that in a minute anyway. But yeah, Amazon to Amazon really is such a sick method, to be fair. And I need to write an article about it as well on my website. For those of you who don't know or not visited my website, fba mogul.com. Should have put a link up there. Didn't think about it. We've got some really sick articles on there. Wes is writing a bunch of retail arbitrage articles for me on all the different all the different stores you can go to, so Home Bargains and whatever else. There's a different store strategy for each one in there and things like that. So mate. But so I had the aircon on in here. Now I've had to turn it off because it's way too noisy. So this is like a hot box, and it's gonna get sweaty in here, but I'll have to suffer to give you guys this content. Hey Lewis, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Haven't seen you in a while, mate. How's it going? The inks in PS were really good. Exactly, yeah, they were really good pings. I didn't get all of them because there were so many in rapid succession, but yeah, I got a good majority of them as well. So, which is awesome. So on my business Amazon to Amazon accounts, which is nice. So we're 8 o'clock now. I'm just going to record it anyway, and as people come in, they come in, which is cool. So one thing I want to talk about today is Amazon to Amazon, all the strategies and why to do Amazon to Amazon, how you do it, the strategies you can use. And then we'll talk about Prime Day as well, what strategy I use for Prime Day. Prime Day, by the way, is the 8th, I think, to the 11th of July. In the UK, so from midnight on the 8th, which is a Tuesday, I believe, to the 11th. To be fair, the start's more important than when it finishes. Hey, Nimco, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. And yeah, basically, Prime Day is the ultimate day to do Amazon to Amazon. You've got that 2-3 day window, although pretty much always the first couple of hours is where it mostly happens. First tip. It's a really, and it can be amazing. Now, sometimes Prime Days, they are not as good, but there's still always money to be made. So it really is good. So why should you do Amazon to Amazon? And by the way, we can, if you've got any questions, fire them out there. I'll answer them as we're going. And about Amazon to Amazon, about Prime Day, about anything to do with Amazon. It's all good. So why should you do Amazon to Amazon? Well, basically, in a nutshell, it is the best way to get some of the most killer deals you can get. We're talking huge ROIs. We're talking items you would never normally source or buy. Like today, for example, ink cartridges dropped on, and we'll talk about, by the way, Profit Sweep. If you want to join that group, link in the description for that, is the group that I use for my Amazon to Amazons. They've got a great promo on, but we'll talk about that in a minute. You can get items you'd never normally source, things that are insanely profitable, like 50, 60, 70, 100% ROI. And sometimes you can get a decent quantity of them as well. It depends what kind of ping it is and how lucky you are. So it's a really good way to buy products you'd never normally buy and basically just make easy money essentially because you're buying from Amazon. As long as they obviously set quantity limits on these things, sometimes as long as you stick to the rules, you're not going to get banned. You're going to get them delivered by Amazon, through Amazon Prime, maybe, or not. And, it's pretty good. The invoices are rock solid as well, because it's an Amazon invoice. If you've got any issues with Amazon complaining about authenticity, you just send them the Amazon invoice. It's the most golden invoice you can get. It's obviously good for, using Amex as well. You've got your invoices and things like that. So it's just a really good place to obviously order from and get amazing products, basically. So, and it's one of those things that you can just kind of do passively, I find. So I have my Discord open. That's where a lot of the pings come in, and I'm doing other work, and then I just listen out for the pings. When I see one come in, I quickly just have a look, see if it's good. If not, I'll go back. So you don't have to actively be sourcing Amazon to Amazon. It's like one of these things that kind of runs in the background, and you can carry on doing your day job. As long, you can do whatever, doing whatever work you're doing. You can even be sourcing if you want, make double money. And then when Amazon ping comes in, you can go and just buy that basically, and then go back to what you're doing before. The only problem is sometimes you get so many pings, you end up like backwards and forwards like a ping pong ball between work and Amazon to Amazon. So so Empire is saying, are you allowed multiple biz accounts and use Prime on your A2A accounts? Because I thought you're not supposed to be. Very good questions. I'll get to those in a minute as I go through this basically. But yeah, so that's why you should do Amazon. Prime Day, basically, and let's talk about the kind of pros and cons of Amazon. So the pros are, obviously, we just talked about authenticity is obviously it doesn't get better than that. Of course, people come to my door right now. Doesn't get better than that when they come. I think it's Amazon actually delivering. Thanks, you can leave it outside. Thank you. That's a train of thought now. Yeah, so pros of it obviously are you get amazing products, profitable products. Invoices are fantastic, things like that. Downsides, sometimes it's limited in how much you can buy. I'm trying to think what the downsides there are really of Amazon to Amazon. There's not too many, to be fair. Oh, one big one is that it can be a little bit inconsistent. I wouldn't necessarily build my business on, there's the ping for my delivery. I need to put do not disturb on, actually. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. Do not disturb. So it can be inconsistent. You can sometimes go days or sometimes even weeks without a really good ping coming along, and then suddenly 2 or 3 will drop in the same minute, like we had earlier on, where you had these ink cartridges, and I think there were 3 or 4 that dropped within like a minute of each other. There was some earlier in the day, and you can basically. So it can be a bit inconsistent. So I wouldn't necessarily build my business on A2A, but it's a good thing to have sort of in the background, I suppose. So, and then obviously Prime Day is the big day that it happens. That's when you get a crap load of drops, all generally at midnight to sort of 3 a.m. You can basically get a month or year's worth of pings all in one go, and you can end up spending 10, 20, 30,000 pounds on products in that sort of 1 or 2 hour space, which is amazing. So Prime Day is just a fantastic opportunity where there's loads of sales going on. So I'll take some questions then. So Empire say, so you do have good limits on your Amazon account. Let me I'm trying to think what I'm going to try to think if I answer questions or go through the whole thing. Let me just go through what I do and then I'll get to the questions. So in Amazon, when it comes to Amazon, I have 3 personal accounts. Okay, and now one reason to use personal accounts is because you can order from not only the UK, but you can order from Europe using personal accounts. So you need personal accounts to order from Europe. So I have 3 personal accounts. Someone just messaged me. And I've also got 3 business accounts as well. Now, business accounts are really good for getting those multiple discounts. Now, sometimes you get a ping that comes on. It's a business-only ping, and it will only work on a business account to get that discount, normally through quantity ordering. Downside to business accounts is you cannot order from Europe. So business accounts are only for UK, personal accounts for all of Europe. So you can do A2A, so EU to UK. You can do UK to UK through business and personal as well. So 3 personal, 3 business. You can use, so obviously each account has to have a different email, has to have a different password. That's pretty much it. Has to have a different phone number now as well, I believe. You need phone numbers for all these accounts. You can just get, I don't have one here. I'll throw them away 1 second. Doing this earlier. I won't show the number, but just get one of these from the supermarket. It's £1 to buy, and you're good to go. Chuck it in your phone, you get the phone number. Just get those there at the tills at supermarkets. Vodafone I found was good because it just basically works. And basically, so you obviously got a different email, you got a different password for all these accounts, and then a different phone number. Once you've got them set up, though, you can use the exact same card details. You can use the exact same billing address as well, and the exact same delivery address. So I have one Amex, which is my purchase Amex. I used to purchase all my stock to make it easy for accounting. I use that same card across all my Amazon accounts. So that Amazon know that these accounts are linked, right? There's no hiding it. We're not using different IP addresses, VPNs and stuff like that. They know. There's no need to hide it. They don't mind lots of accounts. It's fine. Just use the same card, basically. It's fine. So when it comes to creating business accounts, now this is one thing I'm a little bit iffy on. I have just created one earlier as a sole trader. Now it's going through like a whole process. So I created one as a sole trader. I just basically said it's for my Airbnb, which I don't run anymore, but there we go. You could say, you're doing a window cleaning business, you're doing any kind of business. Sole trader is just your name, essentially. They ask for my UTR number, unique tax reference number. You can just give the one. You've obviously got that. You're doing Amazon, so you should have that already. Or there's other evidence you can give, like a website. You can give them, I think it was business documentation, things like that. I mean, a sole trader is just you trading under your own name, so there's no reason why you couldn't create one or two accounts under that. The other thing you can do as well is just use limited company. You've got one already. You can use that to create a business account that's separate from your selling one, essentially. So do not use the buying account that's linked to your selling account. Do not do that. And that's pretty much it, and that's the way to open those business accounts, essentially. So that's that basically. One confusing thing is that essentially that you can't use the same card. You definitely can use the same card. Now, another quick thing I'll mention as well is you can only order, let's say something drops, a ping drops for an ink cartridge, for example. You can only order it on 3 accounts, whether that's 3 personal, 3 business, or a mixture. You can only do 3 orders on 3 accounts, as in like 1 order per account, 3 orders total, and that's it basically. That's the limit done. They'll start auto-cancelling you after a while. So just get the 3 orders in and you're done, basically. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, a lot of talking in terms of just setting up your Amazon to Amazon. I've got a few notes here I'm just looking at. I'll take some questions now quickly, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, so Empire's saying, do you have good limits for your account? So yes, this is an interesting question. Business accounts have different limits, and I've actually just created, say, 2 new accounts actually, one under limited company, one under my sole trader. My current business accounts now tend to be limited to 4 quantity. However, my brand new one I just created has got a 12 quantity limit. So sometimes if you cancel orders that have been paid for, return items on your business account, or do anything like that, essentially they'll probably limit you down to say 4 units. If you have like a really good account, it'll be like 12 units. If you're extremely lucky, you may end up getting an unlimited account. That is a money printer. If you get one of those, DM me. I'll buy it on that account as well. Cut you in. Unlimited accounts, they're very rare to come across. They do come across. You do get them every now and then. They are literal money printers. So those pings we got earlier, where I was limited to 4 on 2 accounts and 12 on 1, you can literally do 999 and basically make yourself 10, 20, 30 grand in one ping. So really insane when those happen. Good thing about that is you can share the details with other people, not the details, but you can invite other people on that account and people will pay you to order on there, so you can even make all more money, which is pretty nice. So and then unlimited accounts get cancelled and these big limit accounts get cancelled if you return items, if you cancel stuff that's like about to be dispatched, things like that. So my white balance has gone all weird on the camera. Essentially, so don't do that. Right now I've got 2 with bad limits, or 3 with bad limits technically, and a brand new one that's got a good limit. So Empire's saying, are you allowed multiple biz accounts and do you use Prime on your A2A? So the common misconception is, and it technically is against the terms and conditions, is you're not allowed to use Prime on Amazon to Amazon. Now I do it. Basically, I've never had any problems. I don't know anyone who's been banned from doing this. I think it's in there as a terms and conditions to stop people drop shipping items using Amazon Prime. Now I did this many, many years ago on play.com. I used to sell stuff on Play.com for one price, and I could buy it from Amazon on the other price. And every now and then I'd have to use Amazon Prime to get it delivered. They don't like you using Amazon Prime to multiple addresses. Obviously, if you're just doing it to one address, your home address or your prep center, whatever, you're all good to go, basically. So I do it. I don't necessarily recommend you do it, but that's what I do. I've never had any problems whatsoever. And yes, I've got multiple business accounts as well. I do have multiple businesses, to be fair, which helps. But yeah, no problem there, basically. I don't think you can create 2 business accounts into the same business. I'm not sure exactly. I've not tried that. When I created my business accounts, they were ages ago. I just created one recently, which was fine. Got opened instantly through a limited company. Did one through a sole trader, and that's going through the verification process. But yeah, you're all good, basically. So, the very least, get 3 personal accounts going. Although some of the best deals are on the business accounts. So yeah, 3 personal accounts as a minimum, and then ideally get the 3 business ones as well. So Keith saying good as part of a varied strategy. Yeah, exactly. So I always think of it as something just happens in the background. So you're doing normal sourcing, doing normal work, whatever. You've got A2As happening in the background. So you don't necessarily rely on them. Although I know people who just do Amazon to Amazon. I know people who can print money doing this as well. Make a lot of money, especially if you get an unlimited account. You can pretty much just ignore all other sourcing and just literally focus on Amazon. And you'll probably run out of money within a week. But yeah, so there's that. Hey Gary, how's it going? If you're gated, how many do you need to buy, and do you get an invoice? So this is an interesting question actually. So when you're ungating items and brands on Amazon, typically you need 10 units. Okay. Some brands like Oral-B are coming along and wanting 100 units. Okay. Now on those ones, let's say for example Versace, where it's 10 units. It's 10 units from any other retailer on the internet. However, if you're using Amazon invoices, I believe it's 50 they want, but it may be 100 now as well. But yeah, I think it's a minimum of 50 units that they'll want for that, unless it specifically says it's more. So the HP Inc. one earlier on was saying 100. So yeah, typically you can't necessarily use the Amazon to Amazon invoices now just because the quantity is not there, but you can use that as well as some other purchases from somewhere else to combine invoices. So let's say you need 50 units, for example, and you've got 12 units from Amazon, where you need 38 more from somewhere else, and that combines to a 50. So that's the only thing. But yes, you can use the invoices to ungate, and you get obviously invoices on Amazon as well. Empowerment Network. Hi Simon. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Didn't think you need a different number. So one trick I think people have done is they'll create an account with one phone number. Once it's all verified, they can remove that number. I've not tried this myself. That's what I've heard. And then they can use that number on the next account. So if it works for you, it works. These are £1 each from the supermarket. Just get them. Way easy. Just like it's just easier, to be honest. But yeah, so Vodafone works for me. EE didn't work. You had to activate the number. This one here, you just put it into your phone. It just works right away, and you don't have to activate anything. You don't have to do anything. You pay £1 for it. You've got a number that works. So yeah, I think it's good till January 2027. So yeah, pretty good. So yeah, you can get free SIMs online, 302 others. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can get free SIMs. I just wanted to get, if you hit the supermarket, you see them, £1 each, whatever. Obviously get them online free as well, if you can do that. So it's just whether they work without a top up, that's the thing. So I know the Vodafone ones do. EE, I struggled with, things like that. So hey Kevin, how's it going? Thanks for joining us again. So Keith is saying, if I open an additional Amazon, does it reduce the buying limit? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Your limit is 3 orders, essentially. So earlier on, I did 3 orders on the business account. One account had a 4 limit. The second account had a 4 limit. The third account had a 12 limit. So there we go. But yeah, so now the one big thing is, how do you actually get told about these Amazon pings? Now, if you're a programmer and you want to hack around and figure this out, you can write your own bot. It still won't be very good. I use a group like Profit Suite, for example, and I'm going to put their logo up here because as soon as I do this, I get paid by the owner. He said he paid me £500 to do this, so there we go. I just made £500. I'm joking, by the way. I use Profit Suite, guys. So for A2As, they were the guys that pinged the inks earlier on. And I can't remember the profit on those units. Maybe you can remind me. What were the profits on them? They were kind of crazy. Some of those ink cartridges were like £7 or £8. I think they were selling for like £30, so like £20 profit, £18 profit. I was able to get like 12. Well, it depends. There were different ones. I wasn't able to get all of them, but got a decent number. 20 times 18 is like £360 profit from like one ping. So you're not going to be able to do Amazon without a software like Profit Sweep or a server like Profit Sweep. So if you want to join Profit Sweep, by the way, they've got a killer promo going on for Prime Day right now. It lasts until Friday, by the way. Then the price goes up by £10, I believe. I'll have to double check that with the owner. But yeah, if you sign up by Friday, if you are a new customer or if you have been away from them for a month or I think something like that, you can basically get a month for $29.99. No free trial, just $29.99 straight in. That's good enough till Prime Day. The link for that is in the description, by the way, and you have to use that link to get that promo offer, and you have to use my code FBA Mogul to get that discount as well. So no other way around it. That's the only way to do it. Get signed up basically and give it a go. But it's the only way to do it, is to use a server. I've been using Profit Sweep for years now, before the one before that as well, and yeah, it's the only way to do it. They'll alert you basically. They scan the site constantly. They'll tell you. They'll ping out when a deal comes along. You got to race and buy it, and we'll talk about buying in a second actually. So, is Keeper the same sort of thing? Not really, no. So you can use Keeper to find Amazon to Amazon deals. Now, this is one thing again, I'm going to talk about Ace Way. The good deals sell out really quickly. We're talking within 30 seconds to a minute, the deals will be gone. So you've got to get in. This is why you need a really fast server like Profit Sweep, because they have the fastest pings. They find the deals immediately, or as fast as they can. They ping it out. You've then got like a minute or so, depending on the deal. Some deals obviously last longer. Other deals sell out really quickly. Those HP inks sold out like that basically, because you're making like £20 profit per unit. Obviously, that's just a money printer, so they sell out really quickly. So you've got to. I notice I don't know if my stream's lagging a little bit, but so yeah, tips when it comes to buying these things. You basically got to use a server like Profit Sweep. There's no way to do it otherwise. You literally will not get them. You'll be late to the party. And then when the deal's ping, you basically just got to buy and then analyze later. And we'll talk about this kind of strategies in a minute, I suppose, for Amazon to Amazon. So, so Bert's is asking, when buying A2A products, what were the lowest ROI you would consider? Again, I don't really look at ROI that much. I normally look at profit I can make from the listing. So, but if you want like an ROI number, I would probably say somewhere around 30% is probably what you're looking for. But sometimes you can get killer deals that are 15-20% ROI. I'd say 30% is a good guide, to be fair. If you want just like a number that's for me to give you, I'll say 30%. And you guys know I've been writing a guide out. I've actually said in that guide 30% for people. I've come up with a 50-30. I can't remember the rule I came up with now. 50-30 to 10-10 rule. I think it was, yeah. 50-30, 10-10 rule, yeah. So, which I'll talk about later on maybe. But yeah, so anyway, so yeah, get signed up to Profit Sweep, $29.99 for the first month if you sign up by Friday. After Friday, it goes up by £10 to $39.99 a month. I think it keeps going up by £10. So that promo is only on for a short time till Friday. I'm getting warm in here. Shout out PS from LG. Yeah, so use Keeper to analyze the deals. You can use Keeper to find deals, but you just won't get any of the good ones in time. Basically, simple as that. So get signed up to Profit Sweep on that one anyway. I'm going to take the logo off now. You guys know about Profit Sweep now. So, but yeah, definitely get signed up to that anyway. So tips when it comes to... Oh, I'll leave it on. Why not? Why not leave it on? Just to remind you guys. So tips when it comes to doing Amazon to Amazon. The biggest and best tip I can give you is... In fact, there's multiple tips actually. But the number one tip I'm going to give you is buy first, analyze later. So shoot first, ask questions later, essentially. Do not sit there and look at a ping and think, is this a good deal or not? Buy it first. Then once you've got those orders in, you can then go and double check it. And if you want, you can cancel it. It's very, very, very rare for things to dispatch immediately. If it never basically happens. So you've got time afterwards to then analyze the deal. So if you sit there and start analyzing it, you're going to miss out on the best deals. So that's the biggest and best tip I can give you essentially when it comes to that. Another tip I'm going to give you as well is, depending on how fast the item's selling, if an item's sat in stock for a long time, if it's more in there for more, let's say something sells 50 sales per month, for example. If it's in stock for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, at that point, I'd be thinking about cancelling that order because it's been around there too long. It's just too slower seller. And at that point, unless it's a crazy profit, and even then, I'd probably think about cancelling it. So I'm looking for those things that are selling out really quickly because they're the best deals. And that sits around too long, maybe a couple of hours, I'm thinking probably about cancelling as well. So, but yeah, buy first, analyze later. The next tip I'm going to give you is, I'm going to give you some killer tips here, by the way, is you want to create a different Chrome profile for each account that you've got. So you don't want to be logging into Amazon, buying it, then switching account, putting your password in, going to the next account. You want to have 3 Chrome profiles, or technically 6 Chrome profiles, because you have one for each Amazon account. Let's just talk about 3 accounts for now. You want 3 Chrome profiles that you've got created. In each one, every Chrome profile is essentially almost like a separate browser, has its own history, has its own passwords, logins, all that kind of stuff. You want to be logged into Amazon on all of those. I've got all the EU sites bookmarked. I've got obviously UK site bookmarked, things like that. And I've got them all open on my Mac or Windows, whatever you got. I've got, one on the middle, one on the left, one on the right, essentially. So when a deal comes along, I'm literally bang, 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 ordering all at the same time, clicking add to cart, checkout, and going through the whole process all at the same time. If you don't do that, it's going to be too slow, essentially. So for the really good deals. And those are the ones you really want. They're the really crazy profitable ones. So that's another hot tip for you as well, is having that. If you can get your sort of one-click settings going as well, going on there, you can just add to cart, buy now. For me, Amazon seems to change my payment method and addresses all the way around. Try and just limit yourself to 2 addresses on there, your billing address, delivery address, and then obviously just one card, which is your payment card. Makes things a lot easier, to be fair. And yeah, basically, it's all about speed, basically. It's all about being rapid. So you can cancel an order as long as it's not actually been paid for, essentially. So you can get it ordered and then you can cancel. It's fine. Basically, if you do it within like first half hour, you're fine. Essentially, it's not going to affect your account. A lot of them just go on to pending. It's when they start dispatching, they'll actually charge you, essentially. So you've got like half an hour minimum to kind of do this, essentially, to cancel. So you can order, cancel if it's within like half hour. As long as it's not been marked as like dispatching, you're good to go. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I've got to the point now where I can kind of see a deal. So that's the advice I give you is buy now, ask later. Pretty much I don't do that now because I've been doing A2A now for 3 years and I can just kind of immediately almost tell whether it's going to be a good deal or not. Obviously, there are times where, like Prime Day, for example, there's going to be so many deals I will just be buying and analysing later because there'll be ping after ping after ping. It's going to be insane. You'll be traumatized by the end of it because there'll be so many pings coming at you. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself. I remember my first year of Prime Day, I was literally shell shocked by the end of it because there were so many pings coming in and it was just non-stop, relentless. I hit ordering over and over and over and making sure I got every single good ping bought in all 3 accounts. So it can get crazy, to be honest. But yeah, best advice, buy first, analyze later. I'm at the point now where I can pretty much, for the most part, just see right away. Although sometimes my own biases come in and I miss out on deals, but for the most part, I can tell immediately looking at it whether I'm going to be buying it or not. Just literally just from pure practice, like looking at the analysis, I can just look at the chart and go immediately, just look good or not and things. Anyway, I can't really articulate that because I just, that's what I do basically. But yeah, so let's get to the questions anyway. Next, Empire just asked one. So do you know how many cancels or returns will lead to your buy limits being lowered? Yes, it's 1. You get 1 chance and you're done. I know Spence from Profit Sweep had a really good account, I believe it was ages ago now. He delivered to a locker. He forgot to pick it up from the locker and that's it. That one thing, that one return killed his account. So it's 1 is the answer. Yeah, don't do it basically. Empire's asking, how much do you spend on previous Prime days? How much do you think? Look, so not every Prime. My first Prime day that I did was literally just amazing. I could have spent probably 50k. I actually remember I cancelled some orders, and I regret it now. But I was only like a month or so into doing Amazon at that point, and there was just so much money to spend. Last month, I was hoping to do like 20, 30k, but I think in the end it was about 10,000. But I did cancel some items that ended up being quite good. So I was a little bit too strict on some items. I think you can do 10k, no problem. Now, let's talk about Prime Day strategies. So you join Profit Sweep, obviously, because it's the only way to do this. you're going to have to be there at midnight, essentially. All the deals tend to drop at midnight. Now, I think Amazon have slowly started to drop deals kind of throughout the day, but mostly all the deals tend to drop at midnight. So you need to be there Tuesday evening, midnight, ready to go. You'll see Discord is going to light up, all the pings start coming in, and you just need to sit there and start buy, basically, on all 3 accounts. So you need to be there at midnight. So book a day off on the 9th or whatever, because it's going to be pretty sure. Yeah, it's Tuesday the 8th at midnight essentially, I believe. Book the next day off maybe if you're going to be up for 2-3 hours. No guarantee it'll be amazing. The last one was average, I'd say. I think the one before that was really good. It all depends on how good the prices are essentially. But yeah, biggest tip: turn up, get chatting to people. Hopefully, people are sharing good leads and stuff. They have 2 or 3 people you can talk to as well, just in case you miss anything. There's normally so many deals, and yeah, basically, it's going to be crazy. So I'll see you on there in Profit Sweep, and we'll be buying the deals, and I'll try and post some good ones as well. Maybe we can jump on the chat and stuff like that. So another good tip, by the way, I've just remembered: Amazon do not, and this is not Prime Day. This is just normal 808s. Amazon very rarely discount items themselves. 95% of the time, they are price matching another website. So when an 808 deal comes along that's really good and you bought it, go and find where they've price matched and buy more stock. As a hot tip I'm just giving you there. That is a super hot tip. Amazon are not they're not very good at giving discounts unless they're just trying to price match someone else. So when Amazon take over the world and they're the only store left, the price is going to be sky high and they'll never discount them. Right now, when they're obviously competing with other retailers and they drop the prices down, they are price matching them because they want that sale essentially. They want every sale to happen through Amazon. So that is another ridiculously hot tip actually in terms of Amazon to Amazon getting extra stock. So you've got your 12 limit or whatever on Amazon for those 3 times, whatever it is. Go and find where they've price matched and go and buy some more. So and use a software like OA Hero to find out how much you can order from those sites. I should have made that the sponsor of this video. No, it's all good. Yeah, take advantage of that. $29.99. Literally, you are going to make so much money. Honestly, it's basically free at this point at $29.99. So that's pretty much, I guess, it when it comes to 808. So if you guys got any questions about Amazon or Prime Day, feel free to throw them out there. Obviously, I'm not going to just, and we'll go from there basically. So how much is Profit Sweep after $29.99? I believe it's $59.99, but Spence will confirm. I think he's in the chat, or he'll just message me now. I believe it might be more. It might be $79.99 actually. It might be more. To be honest, it's worth it. Honestly, Spence showed me Spence, by the way, is the owner of Profit Sweep, who showed me a ping something earlier where someone basically said, "Look, I've made £60,000 in your group." Just insane numbers. So yeah, $79.99. Yeah, so yes, he just confirmed it for me. And say the HP Inks, for example, earlier, just one of those pings was about 300 plus profit, and there were multiple different ones that pinged, all within the space of like 5 minutes or whatever. So you will, if you are literally paying attention, you will make money. Now, the only thing I will say is it is difficult if you have a job where you end up going off to work. Doing A to A when you've got a job where you're in the office and you're working is tough. It might not be the best strategy for you. However, when you come home, there are always pings that happen in the evenings, in the mornings. So you might not. And one thing you got to realize as well is you're going to have FOMO. You're going to miss out on deals. I miss out on deals all the time. You cannot be glued to your computer all the time. And sometimes I come back and someone says, "Oh, did you get that A2A deal?" I'm like, "No, I totally missed it." Like that toilet break cost me 10 grand or whatever, but you can't get them all. So just make the best of it that you can. And you can just do it and have it on in the evenings while you're watching TV. Again, you just have it on in the background, and when something pings in, have a quick look, and then you're good to go, basically. So, yeah. I'm going to open the door because I'm actually boiling in here. 1 second. That made no... Actually, no, that was actually nice. So... Yeah, I need to get aircon in here. I'm looking to get a house, so I don't want to spend too much money on this apartment. But yeah, aircon is very tempting, like getting a built-in aircon. Cool. So Empire saying, how my sales so far this month actually picked up a little bit. So today I'm on £94 profit. Yesterday I did £245 and 02. and 2p profit, 0.2. So 245 yesterday, which is pretty good. And for the month, it's not the best, but it's growing. I'm growing, to be fair. It's 2,100. £2,111.97p. So 2,112 pounds profit. So it's getting there. I've noticed a lot of my listings actually. I've been holding out, and everyone has sold out now. So some of my listings are starting to sell really quite nicely now, which is nice. And yeah, it's all quids in for FBA Mogul. So things will be picking up hopefully. So I've got a decent amount of stock in Amazon as well. So yeah, a bunch more going in. But yeah, it's not a bad month. It's not where I want to be. I want to get to that 10,000 month, but I've been focusing mainly on writing a guide this month for you guys. So some of you might find it useful. It's mainly aimed at beginners, but it's literally a start to finish guide on how to do Amazon. Literally, the whole idea is you'll be able to do all of Amazon through that guide. But yeah, so ACA, what about everyone saying you don't go on the listing with Amazon, but you have to go back on to sell it? You're getting these items so cheap, it doesn't matter. And I literally ignore that. And it might be to my own peril, but it's never really burned me too much. I don't care about Amazon. If I'm getting it for a really good deal and I can undercut Amazon, or Amazon sharing the buy box, and oftentimes they will anyway, I don't even look at that, to be fair. It's never bothered me in the past that Amazon on listing. So ideally they're not on the listing, I'll be honest, but if they're on there, it doesn't really bother me, especially when there's crazy margins on those items you're buying A2As. Like sometimes the profit margin is just insane. So, but yeah, I literally don't pay attention to that, to be honest. So and I think I've been burned 1 or 2 times where Amazon was like refusing to share the buy box, but not often. I can't even think of like one. It's definitely happened 1 or 2 times, but I can't even think what it was on. Yeah, but I don't even pay attention to that. Yeah, I personally think that's rubbish advice, personally. Especially when you're getting these killer A2A deals, because it's never going to be that price again, and you're going to be making fat profits. It can be a problem. Just check how much the buy box is shared. Now, the only thing I don't like about that is oftentimes, especially with A2As, no one has had this product before to compete with Amazon. So you're looking at history and buy box sharing when no one else was selling on the listing. So I've seen people fall for this trap before. They say, hey, Amazon's got 100% buy box. And I look at like the 360 days history, and there's been no other sellers at a competitive price. So of course Amazon have had 100% buy box. So just be aware of that yeah, sure, if there's loads of sellers on there, like 10, 20 sellers, everyone's at the same price, Amazon's at the same price, and Amazon's got 100% buy box, sure, that is a very good indicator there's 100% buy box. But you need to make sure there's actually been other competing offers that are competitive, other offers that are competitive price to actually get a good number on that buy box percentage. So there's a big trap a lot of people fall into it, and it's probably one of the reasons I never even look at it, to be fair. So ACA, ungating. I just talked about that earlier. I'd say maybe go back, but essentially you can ungate with A2A invoices, but you normally need 50. I think it's 50, but it could be 100 units. I'm pretty sure it's 50 now. 50 units you need for A2A invoices. So oftentimes you won't get enough purchase from Amazon. So you'll have to supplement it with buying items from another place to ungate. But you don't need it because you can just, So you can't ungate with Amazon invoices if you've got 50 units. If you haven't got 50 units, go and buy 10 units from somewhere else, essentially. That is it. That's the answer to that. I don't know why my white balance keeps messing up on the camera. Just go to somewhere like, so earlier on, people were asking, where do you buy HP ungate from? Just go to Viking Direct. It's a good place to buy 10 things of paper. You're good to go. It's a £35 ungate. And then you're good to go, basically. It's very rare you're going to get enough units from Amazon to get ungated, but it can happen. As it's a quick buy, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Lots of A2A pings only have Amazon selling on it, so checking the buy box means nothing. Most A2A, exactly, Empire, yeah. And the number of people I see fall into this trap because people say don't, look at the buy box and say, I will be 100% honest, and I might be wrong here. I never look at buy box percentage. It literally doesn't even cross my mind. I don't even ever look at it, to be fair. I might be controversial in that, to be fair, but I just don't ever look at that. Yeah, so cool. Hopefully that was some good tips anyway for you guys on A2As. And ask me any more questions and stuff. So so HP ungate is 100. That does kind of suck. So the thing is, though, there are a lot of deals on Profit Sweep, so you would be able to use a lot of those invoices, especially if you had 3 business accounts to 12 limits. there'll be 36 per ping, and there were like 3 or 4 pings, so you're able to match all those together to get 100 units. Obviously, if you miss them, it is what it is. I have seen Amazon come along with like Oral-B, for example, Panasonic, I think, as well, I'm not sure, HP, where they want 100 units. It kind of sucks. It's got to do what you got to do, I suppose. You got to make a decision: is it profitable to ungate that brand or not? Those ink pings were insanely profitable, so as far as I'm concerned, just do it. There might be a better ungate for HP. I'm not sure if there's anything better than paper though. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. Anyway, so A2A, do it basically. It is, it's insanely profitable. So, and yeah, as long as the pings happen, yeah, it's insane. You get lull periods where, like yesterday, I was on it literally all day and I didn't see anything. Not all day, maybe I finished about 5 o'clock. So it might have been something in the evening, but yeah, I missed any in the evenings, I suppose. But during the day when I was on, I didn't see anything. It happens. It is what it is. So yeah, you guys got any other questions about Amazon, Amazon Prime, A2A? Feel free to throw them out there. I think I've mentioned all the good tips, really. Just act quick, buy first, analyze later. Use Chrome profiles, have 1 Chrome profile per Amazon account, have them all nicely laid out. So on Mac, for example, you can have separate windows and you just do Command right, I think it is, or Option right to go across, and you've got a whole separate desktop. I'm sure there's something similar on Windows. So I just have on one window, I've got my 3 personal accounts. On my other one, I've got 3 business accounts. And yeah, very simple. Just bang, 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 get them ordered all in one go. So Keith's saying, I had 700 items A2A selling 10k a month, and I've sold about 50 in the last 2 months. I'm competing with everyone, but Zona selling too low. Even matching their prices hasn't been a win, so that sucks, yeah. So it probably, looking at the Bible percentages, I suppose, could be a good thing every now and then. We get a listing like that, I suppose. You are selling, to be fair. I don't know, was it an A2A? Or it was an A2A, okay, yeah. So yeah, I guess in that regard, I guess the price just wasn't good enough. And with Amazon, at least you're getting sales, though, to be fair. So, but it does kind of suck. Difference between A2A business and A2A UK on Profit Sweep. So, okay, let's talk about this actually. Yeah, it's a very good question. So sometimes something will ping like HP inks. Okay, I think they are £7 or £8 each. If you go to that Amazon listing on a personal account, it will still be the original price of £20-30. It's only discounted on a business account, and you can normally order more on a business account as well. So that's the difference, is that essentially you can normally order more, but the main reason is the price is only available on a business account. So that's the main reason. So, that's why you have business. And to be honest with you, when it comes to buying on when it comes to UK, I pretty much buy 99% of my leads on business accounts. I use my personal accounts mainly for EU A2A. So EU A2A, by the way, you can order from France, Italy, blah, 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 all those sites. Profit Sweep ping those out as well, where you can basically buy something from Germany, for example, ship it over to UK and sell it on UK site, because there's a big price discrepancy between the German price and the UK price. Don't buy electrical items, though, that need a plug, because it will be an EU plug. So avoid all those, which kind of sucks. You miss them out on them, but it is what it is. It's another little tip there. Keep your order limits under. Basically, when you're doing A2A EUs, when you're adding to cart, you'll get to a point, it's normally around the 150, 160 mark, where it starts adding import fees on. Just basically keep your orders under the import fee limit, and you'll be good to go. Do multiple orders if you need to. It can be quite good as well, a good way. But A2A business is really where it's at. That's the killer one. That's the one where you can get big quantity limits. Sometimes you can get unlimited as well, and that's where you can make the serious money. Obviously, okay, Prime Day as well. You're going to need Prime, so you can sign up to the free trial as well for that. So you're going to need to sign up to Prime. I say unless you've done it before, there's always going to be free trials going on there. So whether you're business or personal, get the free trial going on there, because for Prime Day, you're obviously going to need Prime. So my PS code, by the way, is FBA Mogul. So the link, by the way, is this link here. And by the way, all this stuff's in the description. It's all in the description. So that's the link to sign up, and the code is FBA Mogul, and that's the only way you can get the price of $29.99. So now, one thing I'm going to say about Profit Sweep is there's a lot going on in there. My advice to you is, and this is what I do as well, I mute most of the other pings because it just gets too much for me. I get overwhelmed with all the deals that are coming on there. So I would mute most of the stuff that's on there. I'll keep obviously general chat up, the Amazon chat, announcements, things like that. But and obviously keep the A2A ones. But I would just literally, especially when you're new to like Discord and these groups, it can get very overwhelming very quickly because there's pings coming from all over the place. I find it too much personally. I know I'm missing out on deals. It is what it is. But I really do focus just on the A2As, to be honest. So yeah. Andrew's saying, do you use Cogita much? Yes, I ordered a bunch of stuff yesterday. So a great thing, by the way, you can use Cogita, and that could be your primary sourcing method, for example, and you have A2A in the background, just listening out, looking for the pings, and do that basically. But yes, I still do Cogita. I ordered some. What did I order yesterday? So look, well, I won't tell you exactly, but I put in 3 or 4 orders yesterday. 3 orders yesterday. Can't open up new tabs anymore on there. I won't actually mention that brand because that's a secret brand actually. I will not mention that one. But I ordered some Paco Rabanne and I ordered some Burberry actually. Yeah, so that was a pretty good one. There was another brand which I'm not going to say, secret brand. Yes, and before and on the 16th I ordered 2 orders. I did 351 units of some Maybelline. And what else did I get on that day? Oh, some Versace. Yeah, I got 166 units of Versace. So I'm still getting deals on that. Still very profitable. If you want to get signed up to Cogita, I'll put a link in the description. But you sign up, use code FBA Mogul as well, all capitals. You can get £100 off your first order. It's £120 technically, including that. So yeah. The Cogita price drops Arbisource combo seems like amazing, but yeah, there's so many methods. You can, honestly, there's so many ways to find deals for Amazon. It's just insane. I mean, you run out of money. I run out of money. Every single month. I just paid off my 70 grand Amex bill. It's just insane. Building up a ridiculous number of points. There's just so many deals on there. So yeah, I'm doing Cogita. I'm doing. I've got Profit Sweep in the background with just A2As. I don't even pay attention to the Profit Sweep other deals because I just don't have the mental bandwidth to process them, essentially, and that is the truth of it. They overwhelm me, and I just turn them off because I can't focus on them. I'm trying to obviously work on other things, but yeah, I'm missing out on deals, but I'm happy with just doing A2A, and I'm running out of money every month anyway, so it is what it is, doing Cogita, doing A2As. My favorite sourcing method is newsletter sourcing, but I've not done that in a while now because I've just been focusing on other things, and Cogita and A2As and things like that have been more than enough for me right now. So, but yeah, I've not been sourcing a huge amount recently, but I still try and keep on top of it and still spend a ridiculous amount of money, especially when you're ordering like 150 or whatever it was units of Versace. That starts to add up to whatever that order was. How much was that order? Don't even know. I've closed it down now. Reopen tab. Let's have a look. How much was that? So it's 6 times by 1.2. It's just shy of £8,000 basically for one order. So 166 units of Versace. But yeah, Cogita. So no matter what method you choose, whether you choose to do Cogita, whether you choose to do Arbisource sourcing, whether you choose to do newsletter sourcing, do those as your, what I call, active sourcing methods. Those are the ones you are actively sourcing. Profit Sweep with Amazon to Amazon is a more passive method. It's in the background. You're just listening out for it while you're doing other things, whether you're doing your normal work, whether you're doing sourcing, and then listen out for the deals. That is the best way. Obviously, Prime Day comes along. That's going to be your main focus. But in general, when doing A2As, just have it on in the background. Don't pay attention to it until it pings. Have a quick look, buy it, and you'll soon learn as well when you get good at analyzing these deals. So yeah, buy, analyze. That's the way to do it. But yeah, Spence, have I forgotten anything? I don't know. Feel free to message me. But I think I've pretty much covered it all. Those are all pretty much the tips I've got for A2A and Prime Day. Yeah, it's not rocket science, to be fair. It is not rocket science. It's very easy. Once you understand the basics of it, it's very easy. And yeah, I'd say just one thing, be careful of very slow selling items, especially if everyone's buying the items and they're sat in stock for a long time. Definitely start cancelling those ones that, as long as it's not been charged for, that have been sat around for a while, that are slow sellers. That can be a bit of a bad one to hold on to. But yeah, other than that, one thing I will say, by the way, and this is the truth of it, sometimes Amazon to Amazon can be a little bit bricky, some of the listings, some of the things you buy. It depends how long they've been sat in stock for, how fast they sell. Sometimes they do tend to be a 2 to 3 month hold before the price comes back. People panic, they sell out, then they come back. I've got 2 listings right now where my price has just been hit now. I bought them maybe 2 months ago or something like that. Everyone's sold out now, and now I'm literally pretty much one of the only people left on those listings. And now I'm making good money. So yeah, it's a balance of trying to find that between velocity and profit. It's a difficult one, really. One that I don't have the answer for. Are you coming for the Q&A on PX? I didn't even know there was one, to be fair. This is how much I literally, with Profit Suite, I literally just look at the A2As, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to lie. I don't normally pay attention to the chat. I don't normally pay attention. I'm not saying you guys can't do that. For me, I've got so much going on that I literally, on each Discord that I've got, apart from my own one, I focus down on what I'm really worried about, which on Profit Sweep is the A2As. That's all I tend to care about, and that's the thing that makes me the money on there. And yeah, that's the thing I focus on, really. So let's have a look. What's actually going on in Profit Sweep? I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know. So how is O'Hara going? How's your new dev going? So my new dev, it's an old work colleague. She's going to be working for me 1 or 2 days a week. She's going to be starting this weekend. So yeah, I need to get her set up on it. But yes, OA Hero has been a little bit neglected. It still works and all that good. And to be fair, it's not been neglected. There's been a lot of data updates on there, but you don't necessarily see that in terms of like a new version. But she'll be working on it now at least 1 day a week. And yeah, that's pricey, by the way. That's £300 a day. That's expensive, but I need to keep developing. I need to keep improving it. So I don't have the time for it right now when I'm focusing on the guides and stuff, although I have actually got an update which I'm trying to push out before she starts, actually. Which I really need to get that out, actually. But yeah, she'll be starting, and that's going to keep the development going on that one as well, so we can keep it improving and obviously get some sales as well. Because I'll be honest, the sales have totally stagnated as well. But I completely understand because I've not been working on it. So, but at the same time, it's still very useful right now. You can still use it. It's got loads of information on there, but obviously I want to put more features out on there. So, but yeah, starting this weekend, which is going to be awesome. So. Yeah, I'd like to get to the point where I can hire a developer full-time, to be fair, to work on that and other projects. That is one of my goals. So yeah, that's what I'd like to do at some point. I've got a bunch of other software ideas, but OA Hero right now is the focus. And also getting this guide out. So my main focus right now is writing this guide, and then I want to film it as a video course. So I want to just give you guys as much free stuff as possible, and it's interesting because I pay to teach you guys. It costs me money. So all the articles on the website, I have to pay for those. The videos that I produce, although I've not produced a video in a while, they cost me a crap load of money now. Those dedicated videos in terms of editing and thumbnails. But yeah, I'm paying essentially to produce content for you guys now. So hope you find it useful, I suppose. But yeah, FBA Mogul, I'm really happy with how the website's going. It's insane. There's articles that we're getting out there. I need to actually convert what I've just said here into an A2A article and Prime Day article as well. That's one of my plans to do. And yeah, I'm trying to build out this full-on guide for you guys. So that's my main focus right now. So that when new people come to the Discord community and they go to the website or whatever, then they've got, or they're brand new to YouTube, they've got a full guide they can go through to learn how to do Amazon. So, but yeah, it's going pretty well. Can't complain. Apart from the fact that writing takes ages. And, well, ChatGPT was fantastic for the beginning bits on the boring stuff about sole trader versus limited and creating an Amazon account. Is literally useless when it comes to actually talking about Amazon because it just sprouts absolute nonsense. Ask ChatGPT now about A2A and it will give you a load of rubbish that contradicts exactly everything I've said. It's just absolute rubbish. It has no experience in doing Amazon to Amazon or any Amazon really. So, yeah. Emma said she got lifetime, find it really helpful. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, to be fair. It's a very simple app, to be fair, but very useful. The information's good, the creative stuff's good, and I just want to build more on it. I've got loads of ideas for it. Just need to the one I'm working on right now, by the way, is, and it's nearly done, is splitting out the restricted tags on Cogita. So it won't just say restricted, it's going to say whether it's IP, it's going to say whether it's parallel import, it's going to say whether it's hard gated, and it's also going to have an information tab on there so you can see any other information on there. So it might say things, for example, that it's IP, but the IP was maybe 12 or 18 months ago. So then you can make a better judgment on that. So that's the plan, to get that out, and I want to get that out before this weekend. Otherwise, it gets a mess merging code bases and stuff. But that's technical stuff when you've got two people working on a project. But yeah, so that actually reminds me, what was I going to say as well? I was going to say something else. Oh, another idea I've got, by the way, as well. And I was actually speaking to a guy called Gaz, who runs a Discord group as well. One idea I've got is I want to, because every single group has their own IP list, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to create an open source IP list where everyone can basically contribute to. I basically don't want everyone to have their own IP lists. I think it's just pointless, and oftentimes they get inaccurate. So attached to OA Hero, there'll be an open source IP list. You still need to build this and stuff at some point. And basically everyone can contribute to it. All the different group owners, everyone can contribute to it. And essentially everyone can pull from the same database, essentially, and keep that database up to date. So it'll be a singular source of truth that everyone can pull from, display in their Discord groups, have it for yourself as well. And obviously keep it up to date as well. So, but no sneaky people telling me brands are IP and they're not. So I've had a few people put a few brands in, oh, this is IP, and then I'm like, I'm not sure it is. So they're trying to just keep people off it. But yeah, I want to create that that singular source of truth that hopefully get all the groups on board, and everyone just basically contributes to that one list. We don't have to have lists all over the place because it is a pain in the butt to keep maintained, to be fair. Just recently, in the past month, we had a bunch of brands become unrestricted. So you obviously need to keep these brands. And obviously, brands go from being fantastic for 10 years, suddenly they're locked down. So you've got to keep these lists up to date. And I think having everyone work on one list and one source would be the best thing, basically. So, yeah, and we can start with that. So that's an idea I had, and I think it'd be a good thing for the community. It'll be attached to OA Hero as a database, but it'll be available to everyone for free, essentially. That'll be one thing that, it's just because I'm obviously paying for the database already. So it's just a way for me to save money. It'll be open source, it'll be free, but obviously there'll be cost to me. But so if we attach it to a database I've already got and an app that's already running, then it works out for me, basically. So although I might create it on a separate website. We're getting technical now, though. But yeah, that was an idea I had anyway. And I was like, you know what? Because I went onto Gaz's Discord server and I was like, he's got an IP list. Prophet Suit's got an IP list. Others say, I've got an IP list. And I was like, this is a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare having all these lists all over the place with conflicting information. So yeah. Senpai saying, make sure to add my best-selling brands to IP. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, I'll obviously need to figure out the exact mechanics behind it, but yes, I think that'd be a really good idea, and just making it available to everyone, and everyone can contribute. Although some people will get immediate access to change it, other people have to go through an approval process just to make sure there's no bad actors out there. But yeah, anyway, so it's cool. God, I am so warm. It's insane. But anyway, I'm about to pass out. I've got a drink here quickly. If you've got any more questions, by the way, feel free to throw them out there. So while I enjoy my tasty beverage. Yum. So yeah. Yeah, I've got all sorts of ideas on things. I was even thinking about these, like, for example, I was like, oh, I could just buy like 100 of these, and then if people want a number, I can literally just say, hey, just send me £5 or whatever, and you can have a number within 5 minutes, basically. But I was like, too much hassle. But yeah, so but it could be done, to be fair, or pay the £1 that it costs, and just have if you need a number, it can be done within like 5 minutes or whatever. But yeah, yeah, maybe in the future, who knows? So yeah, IP on evidence, exactly. Yeah, so yes, I guess. Why is there an alarm going off? I bet it's mine as well. Let me just double check. Is someone breaking into my car? No, it's not my car. Shut up. Don't know if you guys can hear that, the alarm going off. Anyway, yeah, exactly. So I guess the whole idea behind that will be that maybe group owners can have access and they can write data to it without any approval process. Just the average Joe is going to have to go through some sort of evidence-based or provide an ASIN or something before it goes on there. It's going to be definite work to keep it up to date and stuff like that. But yeah, if we've got that singular source, then I think it's going to be really good, to be fair. But yeah, so Emma says no. Not sure what we're talking about. Have I got all the chats up? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Did you guys sign up to Profit Sweep? Let me know. So that is an affiliate link, by the way. Be fully truthful there. So this whole thing runs on affiliate links. Oh yeah, so one thing I talked about before, by the way, was mentoring. I'm not doing mentoring. I decided against it in the end. So don't reach out to me about that. I had quite a few people reach out. Decided that I'm just going to carry on the course, keep doing it for free. I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of work attached to mentoring, so I decided not to do it, and we'll just keep doing it for free. Basically, everything's going to be free. I do have an idea for something that might have to be paid, but we'll talk about that later. Bert's is leaving. See you. Right, bye. Oh, it's so rude, Bert. I'm joking. It's fine. To be honest, I might call it quits soon as well because I'm absolutely boiling. Hey, Brad's just joined us. That's awesome. How's it going, Brad? So you missed all the Amazon tips and all that stuff, but you can always watch it back, Brad. So we were just talking about my idea of having an open source. This is probably going to bore people and push people off the stream, but I want to create a singular source of truth for IP lists, for IP brands, parallel import, that kind of stuff, and have all the groups contribute to one list rather than having every single group out there have their own list. So that was just the thing I was thinking of. So Jacob, don't make me ban you. What tips do you have for return? So deal with them yourself, stay on top of them, send them back to Amazon, do a little switcheroo, and yeah, you're all good to go. Yeah, so but no, Jacob, stop it. It's not about you. So anyway, any other questions, guys? Feel free to throw them out there. So if you guys want to deal with returns, you can speak to Jacob. He runs Returnify. Stop doing that, Jacob, though. I mean it this time. Yeah. So if you want to pay £500 like Spence did, you can have the banner on the video. All right. There you go. So but yeah, this all runs on donations and affiliate links, and no one's donated so far. But yeah, so it's actually insane. The amount of money I've spent on this stuff is insane, but it's all good. I really enjoy this, to be fair. So this mic alone, God, it's expensive. But no, it's all good. Enjoy this. It's good fun, and yeah, I've been sitting writing that guide, actually doing it as well. Although my limit for writing per day is about 2 to 3 hours before I get sick of it. So it's getting there though, slowly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Brad. Yeah, I think I've pretty much gone through all of it, to be fair. Obviously you can always ask me questions another time if you want, but yeah, biggest tip I can always give people though is buy first, analyze later when it comes to it. But yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything when it comes to the A2As. Hopefully this will be a video that people can come back and watch in terms of those tips and stuff, and that'll be good. But yeah, so guys, let me know if you've got any more questions, you want to hang out, if whatever, any questions about Prime, Amazon, let me know. Otherwise, I'll probably just log it off before I pass out from heat exhaustion. Think I'm okay now, but maybe I'm past the point of no return. But yeah, let me know, guys. And if you guys want to check out Profit Suite, by the way, they have, I suppose, sponsored this video. There's an amazing deal in the link in the description. It's $29.99 a month. Get your first month for $29.99 if you use my link and code. That's going to be good enough for Prime Day. And yeah, take advantage of Prime Day, make your money, and then if you want to stay. If you want to leave Profit Suite, leave. It's up to you. So hopefully you'll see the value there and you'll stay. But hey, no pressure. It's all good. So any podcasts or driving? Yes, I've got I don't know why I'm showing you the cameras. But in here are 2 SD cards, and I've got a driving vlog in there, which I need to edit and upload. So, I need to get that sorted. So that one is ready to go. There's actually 2 technically on there, but one I'm probably not going to post because I talk a lot about mentoring, and I'm no longer doing mentoring. So, yeah. But we'll see. But yeah, there's one in there I filmed on Monday. I need to put out there, and I'll need to do that. It's a good. Thank you for reminding me. I'll try and do that tonight to release that tomorrow. But yeah. Thanks for reminding me on that one. And I need to get back to doing the old... podcast-wise, I need to actually get a few more people on, actually. I need to speak to Nikos again. I've not spoken to Nikos in a while. And get some people on, basically. Yeah, to do some podcasts. Or get some people to come on and do these kind of dual streams. The last one did really well with Callum from Arbisource. That was a really good stream. And, I need to get back on those, to be fair. So Zoha, will this be okay for a fresh seller? Yes. You may run into an issue, and this is exactly what happened to me in my first sort of 3 months of doing Amazon to Amazon, or doing Amazon in general, is that Prime Day came along within the first sort of month of me doing Amazon. I bought a crap load, 1,200 bottles of Tell Me Tippy baby bottles. They were all just sat in my apartment. I couldn't send them in because I was restricted on that brand. After 3 months, though, you become unrestricted. It made me ungate them all. I've been through this story multiple times. But yeah, ungate the Tommee Tippee brand, ungate the child feeding brand, baby feeding brand. Got to that point, then it said, no, you're hard gated on it. But it's just because Amazon are kind of a bit cautious when it comes to those kind of things, certain categories. But after 3 months, everyone just said, hold on to it, it's fine. After 3 months, I was able to send it all in, made a big fat profit on it. I wish I'd ordered more now. But yeah, it is what it is. I was didn't know what I was doing when I was first starting. So yeah, Brad saying in the same car. Yeah, exactly. So tempted to get the fancy car, I'm not going to lie, but you got to keep that money in the business, keep reinvesting. So yeah, got the same car. Yeah, it's nice to just pay for the car in cash. Don't have to get any leasing or financing or anything like that. Just get it done. Nothing too fancy. I'm not going to be pulling any hot women in my Ford C-Max versus like a McLaren or a Ferrari, but there we go. It is what it is. So Keith saying, do you miss Dubai? That's a good question. Not really right now. I mean, the weather out there is just horrendous. So in that regard, no. I do. There's certain things I do like about Dubai. I love living down by the marina. That was one thing I love going for those walks down the marina, around the water, around the beach. That was one thing I probably do miss about it. But yeah, beyond that, actually not really. I'm quite enjoying the UK right now. The weather's obviously nice. I've been going through a big sort of life reset, and that's probably why you've not seen me too active in sort of Discord and stuff. I've been a bit like AWOL. I've been focusing on, writing my guide. That's been really focusing on that a lot. Just knuckling down on that and just trying to not pay attention to anything else apart from A2A pings. I've also been trying to clear out my apartment as well. So I'm doing a massive clear out of my personal stuff, of returns that I've got. I've got a couple of boxes to go out to Returnify actually. There's your plug, an authentic plug. I've had a bunch of sneakers left over that I need to sort out from my locker. So I've cleared my entire locker out now. I had a bunch of personal stuff like 3D printer and stuff like that I just sold on eBay, Pokemon cards. Should have a proper massive reset of declutter. So I donated a bunch of stuff as well, just trying to have a real reset on my life. Since I'm now back in the UK, I decided to stay here. I wanted to totally reset because I find this stuff kind of weighs on my mind a little bit at times, and I feel like, if you've got like a tidy environment, then it makes it easier to work and focus, and so I've been going through that whole kind of just really trying to knuckle down and get that all done, really. So it's been good, to be fair. So yeah, doing that. It takes up a lot of time, but it's been good to make some money because I've sold my 3D printer. It's like £1,000. Pokemon gone through the roof. So all the Pokemon cards I had in the past, they're all going out, and nice money there. So get some money back on that stuff, and yeah, donate a bunch of stuff as well, clothes and all sorts of stuff, and it's been good. So I'm actually enjoying the UK right now. Hanging out with friends, going out for meals. Going to the pub, things like that, so it's all been good. So yeah, actually right now I don't miss it, but maybe when winter comes around I will probably will miss it. I think the UK, I don't think you can beat a UK summer, to be fair. I think the UK in summer is one of the best, but it's just the problem is we just don't always get a summer. Get me and Spence on apps. Jacob, you are welcome to come onto a live stream if you want to do a live stream. We can absolutely do one together. Spence is too chicken, he won't come on though. So but you and I can do one of those, no problem. Gary just joined PS for the Code. Thanks very much, mate. Said my advice to you is mute a lot of the stuff. It's very overwhelming. Stick to the A2As, A2A Biz, A2A UK, A2A EU. Try and mute all the pings from now, and then you can introduce them over time when you get used to the server. Zohab saying it's fine as long as I can get ungated. Yes, you'll be fine. Yes, so absolutely, yeah. If you're in Perfect Sweep, people will be talking about in the chat as well when these things come in. So yeah, if people tell you to avoid things, stuff like that, you'll be good to go. Just Brad said, might be hot if the aircon doesn't work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just the fact that you can't go outside. It's insane in Dubai. I'm feisty tonight, am I? Okay. Okay. Return if I got a good hold on Death Piles ATM, so no rush. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, you got a good hold. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Spence with the paper bag on his head. We could do that, yes. We could do that. So, yeah. I'd love to get Spence on, but he's very... doesn't want to reveal his identity out there, so who knows why. But yeah, so I've taken plenty of pictures of Spence and gotten a very nasty look from him. So I've got them all here, though, so don't wrong me, Spence. Don't wrong me. But yeah, hey, some people like to be in the public. and some people don't want to be out there, so it's all good. So actually, majority of people don't want to do what I'm doing here, for example, put themselves out there. And yeah, I'm probably an unusual person like that. So Emma's saying, any other Discords you can recommend? Yeah, the best one out there, to be honest, is FBA Moguls. That's my one. Profit Sweep is the other one that is good, obviously. It's a difficult one, really. To be honest, for those two are probably going to get you covered. I can, if you DM me, maybe I can recommend some other ones. I don't necessarily want to shout out anyone out on here. But yeah, when I'm trying to promote Profit Sweep here. But yeah, there are a few others, but to be honest, Profit Sweep is on top of it all. So I'd stick with them, to be honest. But there are others out there that are not as good. But one thing I will say is, though, not every group can get every single ping. So it's just not possible. So it is good to get, if you want 95% coverage, you just need Profit Sweep. If you want 100% coverage, you can join the others. But I'll be honest, though, it gets to the point where there's so many pings coming in, it gets a little bit distracting. But yeah. So I heard he's a drug trafficker in Southeast Asia. He could be, who knows? But yeah, so honestly though, actually, genuinely, my advice for Prime Day is use only one Discord group, because if you start using more than one group, and I'm going to mute all of my groups, by the way, apart from Profit Sweep, because it's going to be hard enough to buy all the leads and see what's going on with just one group. If you start adding 2 or 3 in there on Prime Day, you are going to lose your mind, and you'll probably end up missing out on more than you get, because you'll just be so overwhelmed. And it can just get crazy, essentially. So definitely focus on one, and for Prime Day. For normal 8away, sure, multiple groups can be okay, to be fair. But yeah, for Prime Day, definitely, yeah, too many choices leads to all the deals. Exactly, you get analysis paralysis. You just cannot. Yeah, it just gets overwhelming, to be fair. To be any one single league group is ping central anyway. Exactly, yeah. So yeah, for Prime Day it becomes insane. So but yeah, it's anyway, going back to the old combo before, UK is awesome at the moment, cannot lie. So it was good to get my locker cleared out, actually. That was nice. Been down to Warehouse Goblins quite a lot, dropping off stock there, which is good. They're going through a whole renovation right now, so they've grown so much, it's insane. Having to put in new shelving, like a whole mezzanine thing, it's just insane. So that's good to see, actually, that my prep centre, Chris from Warehouse Goblins, is doing so well there and just growing like mad, which is awesome to see. But yeah, dropped a lot of stock off there, which is good, that I need to deal with. And yeah, it's been good, to be honest. So yeah, one thing I've got though, while I'm getting rid of some stuff, I'm keep buying camera and lighting equipment. So I can't help myself. I love the camera gear and stuff like that. So I keep spending an absolute fortune on. Like I bought this light up here. It was totally unnecessary, but the last one didn't work very well with my app. So I thought this one would be better, and it does work beautifully with the app. So yeah, that was ridiculously expensive what it was, but it works well, and that's only on like 1 or 2% power. So yeah, it's going to be, it's pretty good. It's an Amaran Pano 120C. So it's got some cool effects as well. Like I'm not going to play with them, but yeah. I'm not a child. Just act like one sometimes. Cool, guys. Right, unless you got any questions, I'm probably going to wrap it up there. But I do appreciate you all coming on. It's been an awesome stream. And for anyone who didn't watch live and has just watched afterwards, I also appreciate you coming on as well. Again, if you want to do 8away just in normal, and you want to do or Prime Day, get signed up to Profit Sweep, link in description. You get the link, you get the code FBA Mogul. Gives you $29.99 as long as you do it by Friday. Then I think it goes up to $39.99. Maybe I can get Spence to improve that. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, we'll see. Keith, master plan to evolve it to a film director, is it? Yeah, exactly. I want to build. Well, this is now a studio. You cannot see it. Maybe if I tilt this slightly. Oh god! Without killing my camera. You can see I've got an overhead camera there and the light all set up. Oh God, sorry guys. Hopefully you're not all puking now from the sort of movement. But yeah, I've turned this into a bit of a filming studio. So it's a 3-camera setup, all the lighting, all that kind of stuff. So I just need to actually make the video now. Got all the equipment, I just need to actually sit down and make the video. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so yeah. So the only problem, this is why I'm getting a house. I'm going to upgrade to a house. So that's before the Aston Martin, by the way, Empire. I want to get a house. I want to have a dedicated filming studio and then an office. Right now, it's all combined into one. I don't have room, so yeah, it's a bit of a mess in terms of that regard. Razcom, are you still in Dubai? No, I'm in the UK, mate. I decided not to move to Dubai. I'm in the UK for the foreseeable future, unless I can get moved to Australia. Aston Martin, not going to lie, Empire, it was extremely tempting. It is tempting every day. I get tempted by a fast car, I'm not going to lie, but it's a total waste of money. I'd rather keep the money in the business, but at some point I will get one. I'm not going to lie, I want to get it out of my system. My plan is to go and get one for about 100,000 from the Aston Martin garage, a used one. You get a year's service package on it, drive it for a year, and then literally take it back. Obviously, with the service package, anything goes wrong, they can sort it out with a warranty or whatever, and then basically trade it in after a year. That's my plan. But not for a few years yet. I'd rather keep the money. Let's say you put 100k in Aston Martin, maybe after a year, you're going to get 70k back. Put 100k into Amazon, you're going to have 130k, so yeah, definitely keep the money in the business for now, but I'm not going to lie, you do need to live a little bit. I'm tempted to get something like that, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's one of those ones, really. Razcom, how you come decide against Dubai? Seems a bit. Oh yeah, don't worry, it is appealing. Absolutely. There's things I love about Dubai. The weather being one of them, or they're not in summer. The lifestyle is amazing out there. There's a few things I just don't like. There's nothing like one big reason really. It's just a lot of little things that just added up to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't want to put roots down here. I guess the one big one really is that it's a very transient place. So if I want to set up roots there and actually live my life there and plan to stay there long term, it's a place where not many people actually plan on doing that. People don't stay in Dubai all year. People have plans not to stay in Dubai for more than 3 to 5 years. So that was one kind of thing. I was like, so is this really where I want to set down my life in Dubai? It's somewhere I'm happy to visit for 3 months every year, but I don't want to necessarily live there. And especially in summer, it's just awful. So so I've tried it. I went there. At one point I was going to move there. Then I decided, and I was like, yeah, just go for it. And then I was like, doesn't help. One thing that didn't help was the fact that prices of property and stuff like that have gone through the absolute roof because everyone's moving there. So it's very expensive, and I actually wouldn't save any tax because most of my money comes from Amazon and things like that. So so it's just difficult to. I want to move my Amazon business to Dubai. I don't think it'd work out very well. You know what Amazon's like at times. So it's one of those ones anyway. But I'm not saying I won't ever move there. Just right now, I don't know. Just couldn't quite bring myself to do it. Razcom saying, does Spence live there? Him and Josh and those guys, they all live there about 9 months a year, at least 6 months a year, but not full time. I think they're all in the UK right now, enjoying the weather in the UK. So Amit says he moved from the UK to Australia. That's awesome. I'd love to do that, but they won't let me in. The only way I could get into Australia is by buying my way in. So I need to become like a multi-millionaire and then buy my way in. And even then, I ain't getting a job again. No way. So Brad's saying, I agree with some extent. However, you have to sample fruits of your labour. Otherwise, I agree with you as well. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly why I will get one. So I do want to get a fast car at some point. I think it's just right now in this phase of my business. I think it'd be a bit silly to do. At some point, though, I will take the money and do it. I'll either get a Porsche 911, an Aston Martin of some description around 100,000. I do like an Audi R8, to be fair. Maybe one of those. I'm not sure exactly, really. Something like that, around that kind of 100,000 mark. Just buy it for a year and basically accept I'm going to lose 20, 30 grand on it. And then after the year, just take the L on it and move on. Hopefully I've got it out of my system by then and get a sensible car again. Who knows how it'll actually work out, but that's kind of like my plan on that one. But my main focus right now is getting a house. So that's my main focus, spending my money on that. And then I'll think about fast cars later. But to be honest, I think I might prefer to buy a fancy watch. I don't know. I really need to fix the white balance on this. I have no idea why it's suddenly gone so bright. I don't know if you guys can see that. But anyway, so Razcom saying, the UK needs to sort itself out. I'm sure there are things look hopeful. Would like to potentially go to Europe. I'm not going to lie, the UK is a bit of a dump. Like I went for a nice walk yesterday and There's litter all over the place. I was like, you don't see that in Dubai. There's things I love about Dubai. Like, one thing, it's very clean, but then they've also got people who work for really cheap labour out there. So whereas here we've got labour laws. So, it's one of those things, isn't it? So, but yeah, you go for a nice walk in Dubai, you won't see a piece of litter anywhere. Whereas here, the bins are overflowing, the litter's there's lots of multiple things that are not great about this country. So it's a great country. I love the UK, to be fair, but there's a lot of things that lack of money, lack of resources just makes it struggle. And it's rough around the edges, to put it like that. But yeah, you can't beat the UK in summer, though, I don't think. You look like an Aston Martin driver. Thank you very much. So is that old and rich? I suppose it's the Aston Martin driver. So you don't think I'd suit an R8? Yeah, maybe. So I'd always wanted an R8 though. I couldn't get and I apologise for anyone who's got one, by the way. We've gone off a bit of tangent here, but it's all good. R8, apparently the convertible's really has barely any legroom, so you wouldn't be able to drive one of those, but a normal one maybe. But we'll see anyway. I think Aston Martin could be good. So yeah. To be honest, I actually like TTs, Brad. I think they're a great bang for your buck. For 20, 30 grand, you can get a nice fast car like a TT. It's like obviously not as good as a Porsche, but for that kind of money, I don't think you can beat it. The other thing I consider doing as well is not going quite as crazy and getting something like getting a Porsche Cayman. There's so many different models. I don't even know. There's an S. There's an S. I don't know. But you can get one for about 60k. It's not got too many miles on the clock. I don't want anything that's too old and got too many miles on the clock. I like buying used cars, but I like buying ones that have been barely used. Yeah, I look like Bond. yeah. Just get both. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. So, let's get a McLaren. I'll find out what McLaren Josh has got, and I'll get the model that's better than that. So that's what I'll do. So yeah, there we go. I want an i8. That's my dream car. Nice. There you go. Treat yourself and get yourself one at some point. It's good to have that kind of goal. A new i8 meant to coming out 2026. i8 ahead of its time. I remember. Yeah, it's a really nice car actually. Yeah, it's a nice car. i8s. I've not seen the new one. The concept of it. Might as well be an MX-5. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, to be fair, that is like the poor man. No offense to anyone who's got that. Like the poor man sort of like sports car. To be fair, Jeremy Clarkson raves about them. So, but yeah, for the price, the money. Porsche Taycan is like 40, 50k, 2-3 years old. Yeah, they've dropped in price crazily. Actually, Taycans. I think it's the most appreciated car you can get. I also like the Audi version of it. What's it called? The Audi. Oh God, I can't even. e-tron GT, I think it is. Yeah, e-tron GT. Electric, yeah, I don't mind electric to be fair, but also want to take advantage of petrol. I've got it. I think an Aston Martin could work quite nicely to be fair. So yeah, to be honest, I work hard, so at some point I will treat myself. I've got a few things I want to buy. One of them is an Aston Martin at some point. I also want to buy, and it's crazy, I want to buy a Rolex Pepsi Meteorite at some point. So I'm going to do that as well, but I also want a nice house. A house first, then maybe car, then maybe that watch. That watch is about 40 to 45k, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, something I want to do. I had the opportunity to buy one for like 38k. I was very tempted, but it was such a silly purchase though. But yeah, anyway, so yeah. You rolled AD going to give... No, there's no way an AD... That's such a hard watch to get. You'd never get one from AD. No way. You'd have to basically go at second-hand market. But it doesn't sell for more. It does. Well, it sells for a little bit more, but not too much. A couple of £1,000 more than the RRP on that. But no, Meteorite dials are extraordinarily difficult to get. I can't even get an Air King or an Explorer from my AD. My AD in Nottingham just basically just written me off. It's total BS, but there we go. I need to get in touch with them as well, actually, just to remind them I'm here, to be fair, because I really want to build up my spend history with them and get my... to be honest, I was very tempted, and we're going off, of course, it's crazy tangents here. I was very tempted to go down, because there's a bunch of Omegas I want to buy, there's a bunch of Tudors I want to buy. I was basically thinking of going down, spending 20, 30 grand on all those watches to build up my spend history, except that I'm going to lose half the money on them, but I want them anyway, so I don't really care. And then it builds a spend history up and all that kind of stuff. The problem is it's goldsmiths, so it's like, if it was like a local independent jeweler, I'd be more into do it, because I feel like actually doing that might actually get some impact. But at goldsmiths, I feel like you're just another schmuck, basically. I don't know, but yeah, it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it, to then try and get those Rolexes. To be fair, I want pretty much all the Rolexes myself anyway, so you know, it's all going to be very costly anyway. But yeah, I want to try and get meteorite dials is what I want. But yeah, you need 100k, 200k spend to get those, maybe even more. Which one do you go to in Nottingham? Goldsmiths. Yeah, it's the only Rolex authorized dealer in Nottingham, so I'm pretty sure anyway. So yeah. The Rolex purchasing business sounds like trying to buy a Ferrari. It's exactly like it is exactly. Yeah, you got to buy the entry. Oh, you can't even get the entry level Rolexes right now. You got to buy another brand like a Breitling, a Tudor, an Omega, and then they may let you buy a Rolex. It's one of those weird things. Like you haven't got a spend history, so you can't buy. But I'm willing to buy. You know, I'm willing, but not. I don't want to spend too much on other watches because you lose money on them. So you lose a ridiculous amount of money on them. But yeah, not that I plan on selling them, but it's something about like this watch, for example. If something went really bad and I had to sell it, I'd basically taken a 50% loss on this watch. But I'm not planning on selling it. But it's nice to know that at some point, if something goes wrong, I need to pay for food. I can trade it in and get decent money back. But yeah, anyway, so that's obviously what they're worried about as well. People reselling them, and they've got no interest in doing watch dealing whatsoever. But yeah. Anyway. If you want to buy yourself a Rolex, join Profit Sweep and do Amazon to Amazon, and that'll pay for one. So there you go. Do Amazon. So yeah, it's the thing that's helped me build my business and stuff like that. It's actually, yeah, you guys are on Amazon anyway. I don't need to sell Amazon to you. I'd be like, nah, what do you mean they won't take? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one of those weird things as well that essentially, like, actually, to be fair, my guy at Nottingham, really nice guy actually. But I've heard stories of people going into the Rolex booths and ADs, authorized dealers, and basically they get looked down on by the staff because they've got all the power of dishing out who gets the watches and stuff. And with no disrespect whatsoever, you're a salesman in a Rolex store. You are just essentially a salesman. You should not be looking down at people who have got cash to buy a Rolex. You know, just because that power dynamic has shifted doesn't mean you should look down on people like that. And like, yeah, I think it's just total, and treat people really badly. I think it's total, and to be honest, it might end up coming to bite them in the butt. I think Rolex, they're not careful, because I've had some bad Goldsmiths in Nottingham, really nice to me. Or they're not giving me a watch, to be fair, but very nice. Every time I've been in there, I've been really nice. I've been down there plenty of times, been great. But Rolex in Dubai treated me like crap. Yeah, they wouldn't even let me try the watches on. And pretty much every single one in there actually treated me like crap. So definitely leaves a sour taste in the mouth on that. So, but yeah, it's one of those weird ones, isn't it? Doesn't matter who you are, you shouldn't treat people like that. Zohab, stoked for Prime Day, but I have a minimal budget around 500. Still be work. Absolutely, everyone's got to start somewhere, mate. Just do what you can with the 500. You need to be more selective with the deals that you buy. So, don't take my approach of buy everything. You need to be more selective. I will jump on a live stream. In fact, what we'll do is I will jump on. I could do a live stream, maybe. Probably not. I'll probably jump on a live call on my group. And we can all sit and chat, and we can talk when the deals drop in, and we can just basically say, hey, did you get those? We can talk about that basically. I can say which ones I think are good. So we'll do that. We'll be on at midnight on Tuesday, the 8th of July, and we'll be, And oh, by the way, worth mentioning, it's not often worth staying up till midnight for the other days, but you may as well do it just in case there is a drop. Typically, it all happens on the first day. Doesn't normally happen on the other days, though. So... Razcom saying, yeah, I answered this one earlier, Razcom, but yeah, I'll answer you again though. I still use Cogito. I made a bunch of orders earlier. I went through them actually on what I ordered, 166 Versace's and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm still ordering. I did 3 orders yesterday. Yeah, 17th of June yesterday. So for various different things. One's a secret brand. One was Paco Rabanne. The other one was Burberry. So yeah. Yep, so get on Cogito as well, another good thing. So, Car Collectibles, how's it going, mate? Picked up a load of Frontline stuff last year on Prime Day. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, Prime, okay, yeah. So that's a bit of a, Frontline was a bit of a dodgy one, yeah. So, yeah, that was Amazon's fault, but yeah. It could be a bit more restrictive on what you buy, because you only got £500. You can utilise a credit card if you want, just be very careful. Yeah. I'm starting to get a bit sore here sitting down. But, Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for coming on. I've really enjoyed this stream. Sorry I've not been on as much as I wanted in the past few weeks, but I'm going to try and get back to the regular schedule. But yeah, it's difficult. I feel like everyone's outside, though, enjoying the weather, which, to be fair, you should be. Come and watch this later. I think most people did survive it. Yeah, Keith. Yeah. It was a whole thing. We can talk about that next time if you want. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate it. I'm going to wrap it up there, and I'll see you guys on the next one, probably Monday, 8 p.m. Probably do Cogito sourcing, maybe some OA sourcing. I'm not sure exactly. Or I might try and get a guest on so we can do kind of a duo live stream. But yeah, thanks, guys. I really do